Thank you very much. In my point of view, the elections were well prepared. When we first came here, we found some question marks. People saying that there were certain things which were not perfect. But at the end of the day, we think that everything were much better prepared than it was thought. It is a good outcome because before, in the months of September, even before in April, May, the situation was not good. There was crisis. We did not know whether these elections would take place in November. Some wanted to anticipate the elections because they wanted to impeach the president. But through mediation, we were able to bring things to the right track. And there were a group of parliamentarians who wanted to disrupt the process, but they failed. There's a adhesion of the people. Many candidates did not withdraw their candidatures, and the people participated. The outcome, it's much better, much higher than what one could anticipate in view of the all attempts of adjourning or cancelling the elections. So I think that we should be proud of what it is. There was no violence, contrary to what was expected. Small incidents you can find everywhere in every country when there are elections. So we think that the elections went well. There's room of perfection, but I must tell you that in Madagascar, it will take time. If they decide to, after these elections, sit down and reflect and think and correct, and to create more trust among themselves, among their institutions, reinforce the institutions, and so on, I think in the future things will be better. I'm saying this because from 2002 up to this point, we see a lot of improvement in the democratic process of Madagascar.
This election appears to be of great significance, and probably what would be your comparison between this year's election and the 2013 elections?
Well, there was an improvement. In 2013, we also classified the elections as well organized and the institutions as competent. But we may find that even if you go to the polling stations, you can find that there's more maturity in the way they are conducting the business. Of course, this reflects also the improvement of the electoral process in the whole continent. It shows that they have learned something from the continental standards as well, or regional standards. The presence of SADC in Madagascar in many ways has helped Madagascar also to grow. And I can feel that now they are keen to listen to the experiences which SADC is bringing to them as a member country. So it will be important for us as a SADC to continue this work with Madagascar as well we are doing with other countries of SADC, like DRC, and even Mozambique, where we are seeing that there are improvements. So Madagascar should not be exception, should improve through these combined efforts.
We have seen former presidents taking the lead in this election. What does it speak of this country's democracy?
Yes, well, the former presidents you are speaking about are the ones which have been disputing the power by different manners. And what was necessary was really to create an atmosphere in Madagascar to enable the people to choose. And actually it was about choosing among these three former heads of state, but mainly the two who, from the results which you are getting, seem to be on the top, because you remember that one has toppled the other, and the other, this other I'm referring to, had in turn come to power in a not clear manner constitutionally. So the people had not had a platform, an atmosphere where they could say their word, whom they prefer. So our exercise from 2009 to 2013 was really about creating that atmosphere. But then these two candidates were put aside to enable the creation of a starting point. And so the last president here actually was playing that role of holding things to allow for a reorganization and so on. But still the people were waiting for the time when they were going to say whom they want from those two who could not stand at that time. So that's why the attention was focused on them this time. So that's my reading of the situation.
So what would be your words to both? Obviously, there will be a winner and a loser. What would be your words to both the leaders that will be able to win out of this election, especially those that are tightly, racing?
Yeah, they know, because we have been telling them this when it was about them standing for elections, that they should look at the high interests of their people, and work to create an atmosphere for a further reconciliation in the country and to create more trust. And so the departing point is for them to accept the elections. And if any thing to be corrected, it should follow in the period between the two elections, this one and the forthcoming elections. They could deal with this on the basis of mutual trust. But for the present, they have got institutions where they can put their claims so that they decide what is truth and what is the truth, what is the justice, and so on. I'm speaking about the courts. They are there for that work. But once the court decides, they have to comply and continue open for further dialogue. We have seen this in Kenya in two occasions. one of candidates lost the elections, but he was not satisfied. But the court has taken a position which he respected, and the second time the same thing, and the life goes on. So we would appeal to all of them to accept the results.
And your word to the people here, the electors?
The same. They have voted. The rest, the decision has to be taken by the organs which were created, the CNE and the courts.
Maybe let's talk about your coordination with other international stakeholders in this election. How has it been working with the AU and others in ensuring that this election is held in a more peaceful manner?
Well, in my part, I'm dealing as a special envoy of SADC. My role is to observe the overall political situation and to find out whether there is something which may deserve the attention of SADC as such in political terms. It's beyond observing the elections themselves. So in that sense, I've been coordinating with the other special envoys, like the one of the United Nations, like the one from the African Union. We have been working together with them in the past. Even the European Union, we have been exchanging notes and meeting the same leaders here, sometimes jointly, sometimes one by one, and then exchange notes of what we have discussed and find the best way of convincing the part which had to be convinced of something, and trying to speak at one voice. So this is what we have been trying to do, and now in this observation of the elections, we are trying to get what the findings of each side. Of course, each one of us has to make his own judgment, but the findings should be there, because in this country there are many rumors, many allegations, and so on. So this is verified by the observation. So we may not have observed the same thing. We may not have observed it in the same place. So it's useful to exchange this information, and then you have enough information to make a judgment.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your time.